Isn't it incredible when a man is genuinely captivated by you, where he listens intently, he understands you, and really loves you at the level that you need? Well, in today's video, I'm going to explain to you 5 feminine qualities that your husband or partner is going to be drawn to, but also to allow you to shine brighter than ever in your most magnificent self. Now, before I explain these points, I just want to be clear here that we're not using any manipulation tactics or applying any shady strategies of any level to try and lure him in. All we're doing here is allowing you to become your most authentic self, to really connect you back to the core of who you are. And when you allow that to shine, a true partnership and a true relationship can be generated at that point. Now, the first quality is to embrace your own unique vibe. See, everyone's got their own magnificence about them. Those quirks, those unique traits that are only to you. And one of the greatest quotes I've ever heard is, "Be yourself, everyone else is taken." And if you can really apply that to you, that means that you're going to actually embrace more of who you are. You know, your silly jokes, the things that are cute and funny that you do and only you make it special. Maybe it's the way in which you ask certain questions. Maybe it's the confidence that you hold from within. You know, allowing yourself to be humorous and fun and joyful and intense at times and so on, but doing it in your own unique way that has its own special quirks and your own spin on it is going to allow you to create a unique experience for him. And he's going to be drawn to that. You know, when I talk to some of my male clients about what they love about their partners, you know, so many of them not just talk about, you know, the fact that they love them and they love their heart and how much they care for them and so on, but it's also little quirks that they have. You know, little things that you remember and you think, wow, there's something so special. I love it when she laughs like that, or I love it when she does that little funny joke or whatever. You've got to allow more of that to shine. When you do that, then he's going to be magnetically drawn to that. He's going to want to continue to spend that time with you, because not only does that hit that part of his heart where he just finds that so endearing and so beautiful, but because it's going to create a lot of joy for him, he's going to associate joy with spending time with you. So the more you can embrace those sorts of behaviors and really connect in with your own unique vibe, the more that connection is going to increase. Secondly, master the art of heartfelt engagement. There's something really magical when a couple develops such a strong bond that they're learning about each other's fears, insecurities, needs, drivers, etc. Having that level of depth is so important, because if you have that sort of connection with your partner, then you go beyond the surface level chats where it's just like, well, I'm just catching up with a friend, to this is my partner, this is someone who's like a soulmate for me, and we're meant to be together for the rest of our lives. We've got such a strong bond. You know, I often talk about how with my wife, you know, we go into such depth with our conversations that she's the only person in my world who I have that level of depth with. And it's not just in terms of the subjects that we talk about, but also the fact that because we are connected at a soul level, nothing can penetrate that. And that's what I'm talking about, is having that level of depth in a relationship. When you can do that, it's a really, really magical thing. And not just in terms of the content, but also when you are communicating, it's really coming from the heart. It's really feeling what that person is feeling. Because what happens is they then start to feel understood. They feel heard. And even though sometimes we don't associate the terms of feeling understood and feeling heard and so on with men, it is very important for a lot of guys to feel that way. Especially if they're in a vulnerable place or they're feeling quite emotional in their life, they're going to want to feel heard, they're going to want to feel understood. And so it's really important you step into that heartfelt engagement with him and really understand what he's feeling. And then that way, in turn, he will slowly start to reciprocate at the level that you need. And as you develop that connection, regardless of where you're at in terms of your relationship or marriage, the more energy that you put into developing this kind of connection over time, then it's only going to help to elevate the situation between the two of you in a good way. And not only that, as you continue to develop that connection, what's going to happen is that you're going to be able to feel confident in being able to express your own needs without feeling like, oh, if I say this, then he's going to get annoyed or he's going to shut down or whatever. It just allows the right dynamic to be established in that moment. Thirdly, ignite that inner fire inside of you. See, so many men are drawn to that energy of a woman who is wanting to pursue a passion, loves what she does, where it fills her up with joy, that she just radiates that beautiful feminine energy through the activities that she's engaging in. It is so beautiful to see. It is such a wonderful thing. And once again, so many of my male clients, they'll often tell me, man, I love it when my wife is like doing the things that bring her joy, and she's filled with so much love, and she's so fun to be around with, and so on. They want that sort of experience. Now, I want to be clear here. I'm not saying that you have to be happy all the time, 24/7, that you're not allowed to feel sad or not allowed to have your moments where you feel down. That's part of being human. You should absolutely be allowed to do that. But at the same time, we want to try and elevate ourselves as best as we can. You want to focus on saying, well, yeah, I'm allowed to feel sad, I'm allowed to have my moments, but at the same time, I want to try and stack the cards in my favor so that I'm feeling more joyful and happy and content and at peace more often than I am feeling down. And to me, that's just a human being thing. We want to experience more of that. We don't want to feel dragged down. And I think, to be honest, sometimes I find that people can easily get quite addicted to the negative experiences. And we have to be a little bit careful of that. I know that might trigger some of you when you hear that, but I really encourage you to say, okay, well, how do I want to live my life? How do I want to feel on a daily basis? Do I want to feel down, or do I want to live in joy as much as I can? And you yourself absolutely have the ability to be able to shift how you think and how you feel by virtue of just free will, by being able to choose the thoughts and actually visualize the things that you want to feel in those moments. So even just a simple thing that you can do now is just close your eyes for 30 seconds, and I want you to just focus on something, a moment in your past where you just felt complete joy, and you were just, you might have just been brought to tears in a good way, where, maybe someone did something silly and you just were cracking up laughing. It was the funniest thing that you could have ever experienced. And I really want you to take that, and I want you to feel it in your entire body and just experience that. And if you do it correctly, if you actually focus on that properly, you will naturally, in the moment, feel great. Your brain will take you back to that place. So you can consciously make decisions to do that on a regular basis. So you can focus on moments where you had love, moments where you had this beautiful confidence about you, maybe, if you've been struggling with that and you're trying to reclaim that. It might have been the time when you got married or you had your first child and the elation that you had at that moment, whatever it was. There's so many things that you can do to shift how you feel. And not only is it beautiful when you can focus on your passions and so on, but taking the time to actually choosing your thoughts and actually picturing images in your own mind of things that have happened in the past or that you want to experience can actually completely shift how you feel, because the brain cannot tell the difference between something that's real and something that's highly imagined in your mind. So you can consciously shift how you feel in this moment. I really want to encourage you to all to do that. Fourthly, harness the power of emotional alchemy. We all go through challenging times in life. We're all going to have different moments where, they trigger us and we're not sure how to move forward, and it can be challenging. But if you can take the approach of saying, I'm going to utilize these particular challenges for good. I'm going to see it as a huge opportunity for growth. I'm going to see it as an opportunity to improve my communication, maybe. I'm going to use it as an opportunity to work on my own emotional resiliency, to maybe heal some of my old wounds, to maybe do some inner child work. There's a range of things that can be used. And I truly believe that when someone takes that experience, which might be perceived as a negative, and flips it and starts to work on it so that they can actually grow and develop, that's a really amazing trait. And it will allow the masculine energy to be drawn to that, because so many guys are so focused on, wanting to fix things and wanting to improve things. And when they see that in someone else, unless they're dealing with their own internal wounds or they're narcissistic in nature or whatever, we're talking about good men here, they're going to be attracted to that, going to be drawn to that and think, wow, how special is it that she's wanting to do all this work on herself and wanting to heal and grow? That's amazing. So the more you can do that, and you can harness that power of emotional alchemy and really create some shifts on that front and have the intent to want to become the best version of you, some really magical things can happen in terms of creating more of that polarity and that spark between you and him. And finally, cultivating radiant joy and happiness. You know, all joy and happiness comes from within. We're often looking to the external to try and fill us up. But if we're looking to the external all the time to try and fill us up, then we're always going to fall short, or it's only going to be short-lived. We might have moments, or we might have a promotion at work. We feel kind of good for a while, and then suddenly, it's into the grind of it. We might have a lovely moment where your husband gives you some attention, you're loving that, and it makes you feel great. And then suddenly, before you know it, he has a bad day, he's in a bit of a foul mood, and that sends you spiraling down into those emotional depths, which is uncomfortable to deal with. So I appreciate how difficult that is, but I really want to encourage you once again to look inward and recognize that if you can find that joy from within, either by focusing on all the things that you're grateful for. One of my clients always used to talk about how she used to literally go and hug a tree, which might sound really strange, but it was like a grounding exercise for her. So that might be something that brings you joy. Just spending time watching a beautiful sunset, spending time with your kids or your dogs and playing with them and just having fun and embracing the moment is once again a magnificent thing to do to elevate your joy and elevate your spirit and recognize that you can feel truly grateful, truly blessed, and feel that lovely radiant energy just for being alive, just for being in the moment. It's a special thing. And when you exude that kind of energy, people want to be around it. People are drawn to that energy. And your husband is going to be drawn to that. He's going to want to spend more time with you because he's going to associate time with you as enjoyment, having fun. Now, it's not just about trying to create that attraction or anything like that or elevating your marriage. It's more for you. When you do these practices, it elevates you, it makes you feel radiant, and makes you feel vibrant. And that's a wonderful thing. You're going to love just being alive. And I really know that when people shift from within, that's when the magic happens in a relationship. All of the clients that have been able to help save their marriage, they all got to that place where they realize, if this marriage works out, great. If it doesn't, I know I'm going to be okay. Why? Because they prioritize their own inner growth. Now, the thing is that often people can sabotage that because they think, oh, geez, if I focus only on me, then he's not going to, he's going to feel like he's going to be pushed to the side and so on. We're not talking about just pushing him to the side. What we're doing is we're saying, I'm going to value my healing, my transformation as a person, because I know that as I do that, I'm going to feel fantastic, and that is naturally going to radiate out to everyone else. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've liked it, make sure you hit that like button below. If you want to get more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. And also, if you have any questions about any of these points, or you want me to expand on any of them, just let me know in the comment section below. I'll make sure I respond to every single one of you. And also from here, what I recommend you do is if you really want to tap into more of that feminine energy and really elevate that part of you, I'd recommend clicking that video below, and you can go through and expand a little bit more on this topic and really take that kind of vibrancy and that energy to another level. Thanks so much for watching. God bless, and I'll talk to you in the next video.